Yo, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be reacting to a... That's too big. Okay, I'm just going to do it right here. Today we're going to be reacting to... Nothing. Yeah, we're just Today we're going to be reacting to Game Theory. Mario's secret firepower is rocket fuel. Now, this video's... I have watched almost every single Game Theory Mario video. I remember watching them when I was, even, 8 years old, 7 years old. Long time ago. But anyway, so I'm glad he's going back to these. Let's just get into the video. And also, I'm sorry, my green screen. I'm basically sitting in darkness with one lamp because my green screen did not want to work today. Anyway, it's just a bunch of green papers I bought at the Dollar Tree. So, screw it. Anyway, 1 second, let me... Okay. Anyway, let's just get into the video. What? Is this a map pack?
Yeah.
Okay, that is.
Wow, this is so cool. Actually, it's totally hot. Watch out, Goombas. Here comes mariii0o. Actually, come to think of it,
It's
this
cool
is
animation.
more humane than stomping on their heads, too. I've always felt bad about crushing another living creature to death with my own body weight.
No.
Here we go. The pain! The pain! I am in agony! Excruciating agony! This has to be the worst way to die!
Okay, that kind of backfired.
Why? Why couldn't I die like my brother Tony? He was crushed in a single instant. His life ended with no suffering.
This is so morbid.
Mamma mia!
Yes, Mamma Mia. Okay.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that's like a super mushroom for your brain, making it grow to twice the size, which
Big
also
brain.
means that it'd be so
Very
big
big
it barely
brain.
fit into your skull anymore. Oh God, what have I done? So many big-brained, tiny-skulled theorists out there.
See, the thing is, just make a bigger head, just take off your head for a minute, just get a fishbowl. A fishbowl would fit a big brain. That's pretty big brain. Get a fishbowl.
Super Mario 3D World just made its way to the Nintendo Switch. I gotta say, it's great news because it's truly one of the Wii U's best titles, which, come to think of it, ain't as high of praise as I originally thought, considering the top 10 list for that system includes a remake from 2 generations before, a cross-platform indie game, a less good version of a Switch game, and the original tech demo that it came packaged with. Not a lot of competition there. Anyway, it's a great Mario game, and it would be a shame for it to remain trapped on a system that nobody bothered to own. It's also great news because it gives me an excuse to talk about the popular plumber and one of gaming's most iconic power-ups, the Fire Flower. This one's been around since the original Super Mario Brothers. It's made an appearance in basically every Mario game since. Even Super Mario Odyssey, which replaced the traditional Mario power-ups with hat powers, still managed to squeeze in a cameo appearance for the Fire Flower, with Peach showing up wearing a traditional kimono in Bowser's Japanese-inspired fortress, decorated with, you guessed it, the Fire Flower.
Okay, that's cool.
How this works, right? Needs no introduction, considering it is the most iconic power-up of all time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not even overstating it. Mario and Fire Flower. I mean, name a more iconic duo. You can't, but you can try down in the comments below. With one touch, it turns Mario's outfit red and white while granting him the all-important ability to throw fireballs. Simple as that, clear as crystal.
It's red like fire.
I literally just said we all know how this works, but have we stopped to question what exactly is going on here? What are Mario's fireballs exactly? I mean, they can't just be pure flame. After all, flames are just burning gas, and as such, we'd expect hot gas to rise, but what Mario is using is affected by gravity.
Water?
These things are being pulled downward. And not
like
just
a
being
rock
pulled
that's on
downward,
fire? Okay, I think it's either going to be, an object that's on fire. There's not the or like a flame of kind of like a rocket, like I said, gas, it's just like actual gas, real gas, so it's just gas. And like somehow you can hold
it's
the
a detail
liquid.
that we all take for granted because we've seen it going on for decades, but
that's
any
like so weird
explanation
and
for
smooth.
what he's
The top
actually using here has to account for that bouncing. And then you
bounce.
got the fact that despite
Bouncy,
supposedly
bouncy.
being balls of fire, Mario still seems perfectly capable of using them underwater.
I never thought of
that.
that.
To be some sort of special
Okay.
flame. In short, we have three
Lava.
things to answer if we want to address this
I
problem.
mean, does lava burn in no, lava just
One, what can
somewhat,
get set on
kinda.
fire. Two, bounce off the ground. And three, also burn underwater. What
That's gonna be tough.
Mario's fireballs? It's a simple question with a
This is an orange bouncy
answer,
ball.
and that makes it the perfect topic for game theory. Now,
Woohoo!
this isn't the first time that I've tried to tackle the topic of Mario's fireballs. Back in 2017, I did a collab with Grant Thompson, the king of random.
I got that video recommended to me when I was searching up to do the thumbnail, because now I'm doing the thumbnail before, because it's just like the video thumbnail.
Underwater. I count myself extremely fortunate to have had the opportunity to spend that time with him because
R.I.P.
he tragically passed away.
Yeah, he died.
Rest
that
in
was
peace,
sad.
buddy. You are remembered.
I still remember watching his Lego Jello video, and what's it called?
Welding. Scale of danger from 1 to 10. What would you list this as?
The firecracker. That was fun.
Wow, that is some quality YouTube sciencing going on. We packed tennis balls full of thermite and dropped them underwater to see if they'd continue to burn. I love the smell of thermite in the afternoon.
Matt Pat is a natural thermite grenade maker.
Let's not spread the word about that one too widely, shall we? And the conclusion was that, yeah, thermite did manage to continue burning while submerged in water, giving us underwater fireballs. See, if I was a Koopa, I would totally be afraid of that. I'm a human and I'm totally afraid of that, so good job, Mario. However, while it did prove the point of underwater fire, I wasn't convinced
but what's
that
the
we had
ball?
solved what Mario's fireballs actually were. I mean, one, I don't think Mario's carrying around extra tennis balls in his overall pockets just to load up with flammable powder.
He's
but
not?
more importantly, the thermite reaction leaves behind molten iron. And I just don't see a lot of slag metal laying around the Mushroom Kingdom after I'm done rampaging through it with my fireballs of death. Which means today I want to look for an alternate solution. To start with, we need to establish one thing. Mario's fireballs aren't just pure fire. In fact, technically they can't be pure fire because, well, fire isn't actually a thing. Fire is a chemical reaction that produces, among other things, a flame, which is the hot gas that you probably mentally picture when you hear the word fire. Now, why bother to make the distinction between fire and flame? Well, we know that a pure flame wouldn't look like what we see Mario tossing. Pure hot gas wouldn't bounce along the ground like a rubber ball. Obviously, Mario is throwing some kind of chemical cocktail that's able to sustain an ongoing combustion reaction. It's more of a flaming project.
Or, I have a better theory. It's just a game where they have talking dinosaurs and lizards, and you're overanalyzing it, and it's just a power-up. Just like the Chaos Emeralds. There's no such thing as Chaos Emeralds. They don't exist. No emeralds make you special, apart from my essential oils. Okay. I don't want to.
Thus, Mario's
ruin the video.
Wouldn't be a ball of fire so much as it is a ball on fire. Of course, that still leaves us with the obvious question: a ball of what? What does it take to create a flaming, bouncing underwater projectile? Well, it all comes down to having the ingredients needed to sustain a fire. If you've ever paid attention during Smokey the Bear's safety lessons, or you watched our episode about fire Pokemon from 4 years ago, you might remember the concept of the fire triangle, which is a simple model of the 5 basic ingredients that you need to sustain a fire. A fire needs 1, heat, 2,
oxygen,
and 3, an oxidizing agent.
That's why people are so dumb when they're trying to blow out the fire when someone's on fire.
Anyway, without any of these,
slap them across the
of the time, the oxidant fire really appreciates that fact. But if you want to extinguish a fire, you can smother it with a blanket. Covering the fire deprives it of oxygen. Thus, the triangle is broken and fire can't survive. This is also how most fire extinguishers work. They spray carbon dioxide, which surrounds the fire, effectively smothering it. Or
no beer.
Other than O2 to create your fire. Now, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out, but it would help, because this is one of the big problems that actual rocket scientists have to deal with. Think about it. In space, there's no air. That means that in space, there's no oxygen floating around.
That's why it's talking about rocket fuel,
So how do you get a combustion reaction in the vacuum of space? Well, One answer is to bring along your own oxygen in liquid form. That's what was used by the Aerojet Rocketdyne RS-25 engine that was used on the NASA space shuttle. Though that probably isn't going to work as well for Mario's purposes, considering that liquid oxygen needs to be stored at very low temperatures. We're talking in the minus 400 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 240
I don't think
Celsius
that would work with
range.
fire.
In fact, the RS-25 is actually classified as a cryogenic rocket engine because its propellants are stored
Big
at
words,
such low
big brain
temperatures.
words,
Now, I know
big brain
Mario can
words.
handle the cold. He does in just his overalls. But carrying sub-zero cryogenic ice balls in his pants only to ignite them later doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But really, any source of oxygen will do. For instance, the reason thermite powder was able to burn underwater in that King of Random experiment was that it's made of aluminum powder and iron oxide. The aluminum metal acts as the fuel, and the iron oxide, as you might be able to tell from the word oxide, provides oxygen, just like OxyClean is
powered by the air you breathe, activated by the water that you and I drink.
See how you have some oxygen O's floating around near the edges of its chemical structure? Well, that right there is why it's your oxidizing agent. Fire is basically just a super fast version of a type of reaction that exists everywhere in our world. Something called a reduction oxidation reaction, or redox
Big brain
reaction
words.
for short. Oxidation is the loss of electrons, and reduction.
I feel like I'm learning more watching this than science class.
Confusingly
All
enough,
of school.
is the gaining of electrons. It's called reduction because you're gaining
I
electrons.
probably
which are
remember a
negatively
lot of
charged,
it,
so
but
you're losing charge, thus
learning a lot.
reduction. Anyway, it's just a fancy way of saying electron swap. And if you look at what oxygen is actually doing here, its role is to accept electrons from the fuel. So in our quest to figure out what's going on with Mario's fireballs, all we need is something that has a similar chemical composition to what we saw in the thermite's iron oxide. Examples of oxidizing agents that have been used in rockets include nitrogen tetroxide, which was used by the Apollo 11 lunar module, and ammonium perchlorate, which is frequently used in rocket boosters. See all those nice juicy O's waiting around the edges of the chemical structure waiting to accept electrons? And you see, it's that second one, the ammonium perchlorate, that I want to focus on, because unlike O2 oxygen, which is a gas at room temperature,
Hopefully the green screen doesn't mess up. It's pretty messed up already. It's pretty bad.
Things that we need to make Mario's fireballs happen.
I was about to do something that's joke. That'd probably
which means that it
completely
needs to be
ruin
by gravity, and you know,
the green
solids
screen.
tend to bounce better than gases. Being a solid also means that we can mix it with the fuel source. We can create a chemical cocktail that provides both the fuel source and the oxidizing agent that we need to make combustion happen, all in one neat little package, just like we're seeing happen with Mario's
I'm past the
fireballs.
10-minute marker. YouTube, stop watching this video.
Powdered aluminum, the same kind of stuff that I talked about with the thermite, so we're gonna go with that. But there's still one missing piece here. We need a way for all of it to stick together, and it's here that Mario's fireballs really deliver the surprise. It all comes down to rubber. Yeah, silicon rubber. No joke, here on YouTube you can find people doing DIY make your own rocket fuel videos where they bind aluminum powder and ammonium perchlorate, which again, remember, is the same stuff that NASA is using in their actual rocket boosters. And they're combining these things with tubes of silicone rubber that you can find at Home Depot.
Oh my gosh.
As in bouncy rubber.
I'm
By the
a
way,
rocket
the idea of using
scientist.
rubber or something similar as a binding agent for rocket fuel isn't just something that YouTubers are doing. In 2013, private space company Virgin Galactic announced that the latest tests of their suborbital space vehicle
I didn't even know there was a third
fuel that used a key
thing,
ingredient for synthetic
like space
rubber.
company. I only thought of
Galactic's
Elon
own press
and
releases describe
NASA.
the fuel as, quote, rubber-like. So what are Mario's fireballs exactly? Well, they're quite literally an advanced form of rocket fuel. Rubbery, bouncy rocket fuel. Aluminum powder plus ammonium
makes
perchlorate
sense.
plus a little bit of silicone rubber to bind it all together. That is, in my estimation, the only way to explain how they're able to burn continuously, even when underwater or in the vacuum-like conditions of Super Mario Galaxy. It's also an explanation for why they bounce like a rubber ball when he throws them. It
that makes
also
sense.
explains why enemies die on contact, considering that solid rocket boosters can reach temperatures of more than 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wouldn't that, like, burn through you?
2,760 degrees Celsius. Sorry, Goomba, that's gonna leave a mark. Which leaves the only thing unexplained in this theory is why it all comes from a flower. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
He always puts a meme at the end.
You know what's not rocket science? Saving money with the sponsor for today's
Honey?
episode, Honey. Theorists these days
Knew it.
I like to stay all you have to set home. So
Okay, I love honey. I've used honey. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next video. This video was so fun to watch. I really like this one. So far, this is my favorite. This is by far the best. In my opinion, the month isn't over. This is probably the best video of the month for me. Well, game theory wise. Whenever I make a video, I usually do like a small camera, like a smaller camera like this, because I always make weird faces in the middle of videos. I make weird faces. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.